So now we're going to do some extra credit. This certainly isn't necessary, but it is pretty cool if you want to try. What we're going to do is change the style of this watch the video button and this our work button. And we're also going to move it to the right side over here. So how do we do all of that? Well, we're going to do it using CSS, which is called Cascade Style Sheet. And to do that, we need to add something called classes to the buttons. So if we click on Customize and scroll down to Menus and click on it and click on Main Menu, under Watch the Video, we can click the down arrow, and under CSS Classes, in addition to button, which makes it look like a button, we're also going to make up our own. So this one's going to be called My-Video-Button. And I just made that up. You just need to make up any name that you want. Then we can click on the up arrow and do the same thing for the our work button. So we want this class to be something different also. So it's going to be My-Work-Button. And we're actually going to click, hold, and drag and rearrange these, because when we do our CSS and float it to the right, it's going to change sides. It'll make more sense in just a second. And I want to show you this CSS just to show you the power of WordPress. You can literally change anything. So I just wanted to, show that the possibilities are endless, but obviously this is more of a beginner tutorial, so you don't need to know exactly what's going on here, and I'm not going to explain everything because that would just take way too long. All right, so click on the back button and click back again, and scroll down and go to Custom CSS/JS. And here we're going to add in our custom CSS. We're going to style our buttons. So in order to do this, you should have Google Chrome downloaded. That should be your browser. If you're using Firefox or Safari or Internet Explorer, it's not going to work like it does in the video. So you need to download Google Chrome. So just go to Google and type in Google Chrome and download it and use that as your browser. It gives you a lot more tools to inspect the CSS and change it. All right, so once Google Chrome is downloaded and you're here, you just want to right click on your button and go to inspect. And this is only for Google Chrome. It won't be on Firefox or Safari or anything else. All right, so this is the code that WordPress generates for you in order for people to see your website. So you're really peeking under the hood into the code. And right here, we can see the CSS that we added. We see the button and the My Work button, My-Work-Button. And that controls the way this looks. We also see that nested inside the My Work button is an A. You see this A, then it says href. The A is a link, and inside of that is a span. So in order to select this exact button right here, we need to do My-Work-Button, A, and span, and that will select this specific button and this specific area right here. And again, this doesn't need to all make sense. You can take a CSS tutorial or CSS lessons and it'll make a lot more sense. But this is just extra credit that is supposed to be sort of fun and show you the power of WordPress. All right, so over here, we're gonna click on Element Style and we're gonna press the plus button and we're gonna add it here. So we're gonna add dot My-Work-Button, and the dot means it's a CSS class. And space, we're gonna do A, and space, we're gonna do span. So that selects exactly where the our work text is. All right, now we can start adding in our CSS. So the first thing that we wanna do is change the border color of this. So I'm just gonna type in border and hit tab, and I want the border to be solid. So just type solid and make a space, and I want my border to be white. So the code for white is #FFF. And I'll make another space and I want it to be 2 pixels. So the border is gonna be 2 pixels wide. All right, once we're done with that, we can press enter and it will enter and it will change on our website. And we can see it right here, but it's actually not changed on our real website. It's only changed for us. So we changed it only so that we can view it, not everyone else, because we haven't added to our website. All right, the border is looking pretty wide. I think it's too tall. It doesn't look right. So how do we change that? We can click back on it and scroll down and find it where it is again. And just click on it and press tab, tab, and tab again, and I'll go to a new line to add in some more CSS. So the next thing that we're gonna do is make the background transparent so it takes on the color of the menu. So we're just gonna do background, and I'm gonna put in FFF right here, which is gonna make it a solid white, but we don't want it to be solid white, we want it to be see-through. So let's click on it and let's use this toggle over here and just make it all the way to the left, and that will make it see-through. But we can't see the changes right now because something is overriding it. So we have some other CSS that is more powerful and overriding it. So a trick can be to go all the way to the end of the line and put in an exclamation point and then put important. This means not important. This means everything else isn't important. Only this CSS is important. All right, so once we do that, we can see that it does become see-through. All right, so just click on background and press tab and tab again. That'll go to the next line. And now let's change the padding because the border is a little bit too tall and a little bit too wide. So let's do padding top. Let's do 10 pixels, not important. And padding dash bottom, let's do 10 pixels also by typing in 10px and putting not important. All right, that will make our top and bottom not so tall. All right, now we're all done with that. So let's click and highlight it all and copy it. And let's paste it over here on this side. This is actually going to add it to our website. If we don't paste it over here, then we're gonna see it. And when we refresh the page, it's just gonna disappear. So we need to add it to our website, and the our work looks pretty good. The next thing that we're gonna do is float the button to the right so it stays over on the right side. So we're gonna do .my-work-button, and we are going to float right and say not important. So it overrides everything else. All right, and we can see that it switches sides, so the button floats to the right. And we can do the same thing for the .my-video button. We can float it to the right and say not important. All right, so now they're both floating to the right, but we don't see that they're all the way to the right side. And that's because our menu isn't wide enough. So we need to somehow change our menu and make it much wider. So let's inspect the entire menu, go to inspect. And if we see right here, when we hover over this site navigation, we can see that the menu is very narrow. So the buttons are floating to the right side, but since the menu is so narrow, it can't go all the way to the edge of the page. So how do we change that? Well, let's click on the site navigation wrap. And again, we see that it's very narrow. It only goes up to right here. And let's find the CSS down over here, and let's click on the bottom one and press tab tab, and let's do width 100%. And when we do that, it goes to the next line because it's too wide. So the width of the menu is going all the way across and the logo can't fit. So we need to make it less than 100%. So let's just click on the 100% and use our down arrows until it actually fits. So there we go, 92%. And if we made it even smaller, then it would be too squished. And if we make it bigger, then it will work out. So I think 92% is perfect. All right, we can copy all of that and we can go over here and paste it in. And the only thing that we need is the 92%. So we can delete all of this stuff. And that looks pretty good. So let's press save and publish and exit out of there. And now we can see that we have buttons on the right side. And if we squish this and make it like a mobile site, it still works perfect. It goes into the mobile menu. All right, we can click the watch the video and that works perfect and looks really great. And exit out of there, and then we could go to the our work page and it works perfectly. And these buttons work great on every page. So the watch the video will work and the our work button will work on each and every page. All right, so that was just some extra credit, very cool stuff, but I just wanted to show you the power of WordPress and all the things that you can do.